Hello everyone, this is Ross here for Xbox Gamer Reviews, and today we're taking a look at This Is the Police. This is developed by Weappy Studios and published by THQ Nordic. It's going to be available on the 22nd of March 2017, both physically and on the Xbox Store. Price is still to be confirmed, but as always it will be in the description below as soon as it's available. Right, so This Is the Police is a management style game. It's got a bit of a story to it as well, but anyway, let's jump straight into it and take a look at what it's all about.
Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Okay, so this is the start of the game. Go to work at the bottom of the screen there. Some bits to read on the screen as well. Let's get this car started.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Okay, so good morning. Yesterday the Mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise or did you know about it in advance? So we get to choose an answer from the list available. I'm going to say I've been expecting this bullshit from the Mayor. There we go. Mayor Rogers is a dishonourable, corrupt politician and he's been waiting for an opportunity to get rid of me. Do you already know the name of your successor? No. Of course not, and I don't think the Mayor's office know who it is either. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy Francis Kendrick said he was looking forward to resigning. If the Mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Who cares? That's his business, not mine. Ask him yourself. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? I don't know, what should I say? Let's just say bullshit. Excuse me, but that's a pile of horse shit. The mafia and the police working together. Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens. The mafia are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about someone ask a real question? Do you think your personal relationship with the Mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? How should I know? You better ask him. Thank you. Okay, so I don't know if that has any sort of
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
yeah, if that has any sort of
You can read about it in the newspaper
consequence to the story in the future or not. I don't know.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick. As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension. One that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
"And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon."
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Right. So, this is the second day of the game. Go to work.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick, he recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Okay, so we've got to the point of the game now where the main gameplay comes into effect. So we're going to go through the tutorial just so we get a gist of what it's all about. So yeah, show me what you've got. So shifts. Freeburg PD organises upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift officers respond to crimes in progress and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. Proceed. So all officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet. Even in a pinch, an individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day and restore 1 point after each day of rest. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behaviour of your employees. So that's that. So let's start the day. Right, so calls. Responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth. So the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. So what we do now, we've got a call, as you can see. Top left of the screen, we've got to pull the left trigger to pull it up. Press the A button. So this is the call we've got here, where the bit of on-screen text says the easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you're allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions give you options of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information, from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all of this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. So we've got a hit and run. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw it, he'd hit a bum. He got back in the van and quickly drove away. So we've got a selection of officers along the bottom. We can choose 2. If you can look at the slots there in the middle of the screen, there's 2 available slots. What we can do is we can send 2 officers along to investigate. So I'm going to send Yancey, and just to counteract his particularly high level, if you can see the star next to, or just under his name, he's got 220. I'll send Austin along as well. Then press Y to proceed, and you'll see on the map a police car disappear off out of the station and make their way towards the call. We've got another call coming in, so let's have a look at that. So this is the Last Picture Show Theatre. A theatre manager reports that during a showing of Citizen Kane, a drunken man attempted to force his way into the theatre carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with a theatre security guard. So I'm going to send 2 officers, and I'm going to send the 2 highest available just for this one. Press Y and off they go as well. Right, so the hit and run as well, we've got a report for that, so we can pull the right trigger to view the report and press the A button. So the hit and run everyday mall. So when everything goes well, the police captured the criminals and nobody dies, but the truth is sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. So we proceed. We actually caught the offender that time, so he did well, and the 2 officers also leveled up a little bit as well. And they'll make their way back to the station. And if you look at the bottom left of the screen, you can see the sort of greyed out box over them slowly going down, denoting that they're on the way back. Got a report for the other thing we sent out too, so let's have a look. They caught their offender as well, so they leveled up too. So we can close that window, they'll make their way back. We've got 2 calls coming in as well now. So there's a fight. A brother and sister clashed with each other over the deceased father's will. According to one of the lawyers, we don't dare to separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to send these 2. See, it seems just something at a lawyer's office, people arguing. I'm going to send these 2 quite low people along to that one. We've got an armed robbery as well. I'm assuming. Let's read it quickly. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with a whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. So let's send you 2. Off you go. Right, we just had some officers return. There's an assault in the ghetto. Let's go and have a look at this one. So in the ghetto, a passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then run away with his guitar and his money. What I'm going to do there, I'm going to send... it says 3 officers, if you can see on the available, so it's quite a serious one compared to what we've done already. So let's send all 3 of those, and off they go. Right, we've got a report about the fight. Direct orders, what's that? This was popped up. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they may contact you and ask you how to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all the time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. So this is about the armed robbery So the vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. So we can knock on the door and shout, "Open up the police." Sneak into the house through an open window, or turn on the siren and loudspeaker and shout that the house is surrounded. We'll knock on the door and open up police. And there, offenders caught. They've ranked up as well, those officers, nice. We've got a report about the fight. There we go. And the offenders escaped. So those two actually deranked because they didn't catch the offender. So that's that one there. There's still people. There's still a patrol out going to one of the calls there as well. So we'll see that pop up in a second. The assault report. Let's read that. And the offender was caught there as well. So they all ranked up as well. Right. And they're all on their way back. Yeah, we're just waiting for those three to come back. End of the day now. So you see bottom right of the screen, it's come up end of the day. So just click the right stick in. And there we go. So overtime. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. So let's proceed. So I wouldn't mind asking. Let's have a look at shift A. Yes, ask Kochi to do overtime. There we go. Let's end the day there.
Used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Okay then, so move on to day 3. So let's go. Right, so carrying on with the tutorial then. When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for a day off. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everybody's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. Let's proceed. So Roy is asking for, it's my dog's birthday and I want to spend the day with her at the park. Can you let me off? What a dick. No. Right. In addition to the performances ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank with 1, 2 or 3 stripes. Once a week you can pass out stripes and improve the rank of an employee. If you think that no one is worthy of the honour some week, then you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. So we've got to press A there, and then right, I can press X to promote him. There we go, and then let's close that. Right, so we've got 2 stripes available still as well. So let's go to Stovall with his 400 points there. Let's have a look. Oh, let's press X. That's it. Press X on him to promote him, and why not give him the 3rd one as well? It's pretty cool there, not with his 500 points. Let's start the day. Right, Freiburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say or nothing at all. You can always select any song from your collection and play it at any time, just like in real life, well, the life of your grandfather. So proceed. So there's a handful of records to listen to there, different songs, etc. And just to play a bit of backing music while you're playing the game. I'm not particularly interested at the minute, so I'm going to press B just to skip that, so there'll be no music playing for this next section. But you can always go and turn it on by clicking the right stick in. Okay, so hiring and firing. Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. Proceed. So we'll press the view button to open up the affairs, police station, and we right bumper across to the labour market. You have a certain number of paid job openings for which you can hire any available applicant. Job slots are separated between officers and detectives. So let's have a look who we can hire. Don't want to hire you, do I? Yeah, I'm going to have to. So let's hire you for shift. Well, that was B, I think. Let's left bumper across. So you want to free up a slot, time to fire somebody. Do I have to? I don't want to fire him. Okay, if you have legal grounds for the termination, no one will ask any questions. You might need to fire them anyway. Legality be damned, but that could land you in additional proceedings, and your other staff will become more worried about keeping their jobs than they are about actually doing the jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed, but that's not really a valid option, right? Let's proceed. So we don't really want to fire him because he's our best officer on this shift, so just pressing B there. But we need to free up a slot, so I'm going to fire Roy because he's only got 5 stars and he looks really old. So let's have a look at his info. Okay. So, not much to go on there. So let's just fire him anyway. So, fire legally. So, he didn't come to work. There's no tick there. Came to work drunk. No tick. Too old. There's a tick. Failed 3 assignments in a row. There's your options you can fill in to legally fire somebody. We've got ticked for too old. So we can use that as a reason to fire him. So let's close that anyway. And again. And we're starting day 3. So we've got a call coming straight away. Let's have a look at what we've got. We received a frightened call from the local cathedral. This morning the abbot discovered that somebody entered the old cemetery during the night. The old yard's tombstones are painted with satanic symbols and some have been broken into pieces. It seems there are even marks from a shovel, but the abbot would say no more. So let's send Robbins and Samadhi, and off they go. Right, another call coming in. So vandalism, Atticus Tower. Businessman Harley Jones looking out his window saw 2 teenagers scratching offensive slogans onto his car. So I'm going to send Van Dahl and Grant along to that one. Oh, there's another slot, so it might be important. Let's just send Stovall over as well, and proceed with that one. Okay, let's go wait for this to roll on by and see what we get. There's a report from the vandalism. So, vandalism. The offender was caught. Nice one. Those 2 rank up. Let's close that. And we've got another call coming in. Eddie's Burgers. Suspicious individual. A waitress named Mila reported that she just served a chicken. Just served a chicken Eddie and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she'd seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. Okay. Let's send Birch and Birch Jr. Because I want to keep Kochi, just in case. Let's send them out anyway. Off they go. Right, we've got a report there. So, vandalism at the Atticus Tower. The offender was caught. Everybody ranked up. That's what we want. And they're on their way back to the station now. Suspicious individual report already. The waitress had mistaken retired officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. Fair enough. Oh, cool. Got another call there. King Louis nightclub. Mr. Boyd, my bouncer stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and now he can't get off the can. Meantime, the line outside the club is stretching around the block. We need somebody outside who can tell the cool guys from the punks. Let's send Roy. You can do a bouncer's job. As soon as he's going to be fired anyway. Let's send him out there. Okay. Is that what we're waiting for now? I've got another call. Drug sales. An anonymous call just came in. A clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. Ooh, a bit naughty. Let's send Stovall and Samadhi. Send them 2 out. Off they go. Suicide threat. Okay. A naked man carrying a canister of gasoline is threatened to set himself on fire unless his favourite chewing gum becomes popular again. A weirdo. Right, I'm going to have to send the next 2 available best units we've got, so off they go. I think we're nearing the end of the day now, so we've got to wait for... Oh, there's a report there. What was that? The King Louis nightclub. Sorry, Chief, but I quit. In one night, I pulled in more cash than I earned in a month working at this dump. Mr. Sorkin said he wouldn't mind me taking me on. I guess I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. Well, we're going to fire you anyway, so see you, mate. What's that? We also got a $4.5 grand from Sam Sorkin for helping him out. Okay. So, the drug sales. As police arrive, a clown is seen making balloon animals for the kids. Take the clown onto the ice and round up any witnesses. Cover up in a raincoat and pretend to be an illicit customer. Carefully watch the clown from the stands. Let's Pretend to be an illicit customer. Oh, there we go. We caught him straight away. Nice. Okay, so they're all on their way back. Is there somebody on the way out? Suicide threat report. They caught the offending person, so that's that. Excellent. So as you can see, we can end the day now, but what I am going to do is I'm going to end the video because we have been playing for some time. So this has been my preview of This Is the Police, available on the 22nd. So check it out if you're interested. I hope this video has given you a nice insight into the game, what it looks like and what it plays like, and if it has, please leave a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not already done so, it does mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.